Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Jeff Bailey. We got another new Great Eastern knife in today. We've previously, in the past, we've taken a look at the pattern premiere of the 18, which of course was the Coyote. What you remember, this one is again my brown camel bone example from Knife Ship Free. Here is the next pattern to come out in the 18 frame. This is the Beagle. Of course, is a Great Eastern Cutlery knife. This is not an SFO. This is the general release. However, I thought it was a pretty special handle material. This one is the oil sucker rod wood material. So let's take a look. Alright. Oh, we got a button here. Button what came with the Coyote as well, so it makes sense. That's a nice little Beagle. Very cool. Of course, I've got my dogs are in their pens here in the room, so maybe it's only fitting if you hear some little dog sounds going on in there. But let's see what we got. Just got this in yesterday. Have not even really had the chance to look at it or play with it at all. Alright, here it is. So we get all focused up. There we go. Look at that. So we got the same houndstooth shield as the Coyote. The Beagle is end capped versus the Coyote is bare. And then of course the Coyote features a single Wharncliffe blade. The Beagle, however, is two blades. We've got the spear main on the outside here. There's your comparison there. But let's take a closer look before we get there. Come on, camera, you can do it. Of course, we got our factory oil on there. It's a satin blade, which I'm trying to get without so much glare from the sun there. There we go. Satin blade. This one does not have the etch, because as has been discussed recently, the etch is reserved for not the first of any. Like, this is a different, this is a two blade. It's a single, somewhat different pattern on the same frame. This does not get the production premiere etch, because it is that from what I understand, that etch is reserved specifically for knives that are the first to come off of the 18. Not the 18, it's first to come off of a given frame, the first production run, regardless of the specific pattern. Similarly, that's why in our other video we didn't see that on the cattle knife, the 98 cattle knife, but we did on the camp knife. So it's Great Eastern Cutlery, right down here on the tang. And TIW, of course, is Titusville Iron Works. And then this knife has a secondary, which is a really dainty little coping blade. Really nice for a small blade. I shouldn't say dainty. I mean, it's not, I don't feel like I'm going to bend this and break it or something. I mean, it's small and thin. This would be really detail work kind of thing. Maybe some very, very small whittling carbon work here. This has got the model number on there, so there's the 18, 22, 16. And then of course we have the oil sucker rod wood covers. So what is the oil sucker rod? Why did they make a knife out of it from Titusville? Well, I actually didn't know this until I started reading about it for this video and back when this knife came out. But there was such a thing as the Pennsylvania oil rush. This was something that happened between 1859 and 1870, so well more than 100 years ago. And I'll give you two guesses as to where it started in. Titusville, Pennsylvania. So, small world there. A place called the Oil Creek Valley. A man named Colonel Edwin L. Drake struck oil there, and that was the start of the Pennsylvania oil rush. And the oil sucker rod is a piece of the machinery. See, maybe I'll put a picture kind of right here to kind of help me illustrate this, but the oil sucker rod would have been, if you can imagine the pumps that, you've probably seen them in movies, they just cycle up and down. Well, they would have drilled down to where the oil was, and then using sort of a vacuum pumping motion, I guess kind of, how almost a plunger would work. There's a piston going up and down, to the best of my understanding, to pump oil back up a tube to the surface. And to operate the piston from the machinery on the surface down the shaft, there would have been a rod. I think most nowadays they use metal for that, but apparently at the time they used wood. And man, I really wish I knew. I don't see anything. Yeah, if anybody knows the type of the species of wood that they would have used here, I mean, presumably a hardwood. I don't know, very, very, very grainy wood, species of oak maybe, but that would be nice to know. But anyway, they would have used wood for that long, connector, just literally a rod going up and down the shaft where the pump head could, cycle the pump down below, and that was made of oil. So this wood has been around Pennsylvania probably literally since the late 1800s. From what some people have said on the forums, I wish I could confirm this, but it's the type of thing that occasionally turns up in an old factory or on an old piece of property, just kind of this discarded wood. But the reason it hasn't rotted away or been full of termites or whatever is that through the course of operation, that wood would be completely saturated with the oil, coming up the shaft. So you get this wood that it's almost got a green tint to it. So it's almost like I shouldn't say naturally, because I guess it's not really natural because it's part of that pumping process. But the oil has basically made this a treated lumber that's been able to last. And you know what? If you say, I had to go off camera there, you don't want to see me smell this knife, but this knife, you can't just, at arm's length, you're not going to tell, but you put this to your nose, and it smells like your grandfather's garage when he was working on, his old pickup or something like that. You can smell the lingering oil in these, and it doesn't feel oily. It's actually very smooth. It's probably somewhat petrified. I mean, I bet there's almost no natural moisture left in here. This is probably just all of the oil, but This one has some really cool grain details. See how close I can get here to focus. I think that's pretty cool. You can see this character here. This isn't like splintery feeling or rough. It's definitely smooth. There's more over here. Really smooth all around. The corners going into the bolster here are very smooth. Take a look at our blades here. Perfectly lined up, both of them, right in the middle. Brass liners, of course. Almost looks like it's got a little bit of wiggle there to it in the buffing process, but very nice. Easy to pull open. Probably not a pinch open. I kind of have to get the side of my thumbnail in there, but it's a very easy pull. It's not going to hurt your fingers at all. And it's a nice little knife. I mean, it's a small knife, just like the. So we can get our camera to focus here. Maybe if I move this placemat around. It's a nice little dog leg in the hand. It's easy to cut with, kind of a hammer grip or something, finger on the back here. I mean, just like the Coyote. It's a much warmer feeling to me knife than the Bone. Let's look at thickness here. These two knives, since we're talking a single blade versus a double blade here. So, I mean, it's thicker. It's not crazy thicker. Are you going to notice the difference between these two in your pocket? Probably not. A little heavier. Again, not a lot heavier. You can see really just the extra thickness of that blade. I mean, the liner's thin enough in the middle there that's not adding too much. But two very nice little knives from Great Eastern Cutlery. Yeah, I think this is going to have to be in my pocket this weekend. But yeah, the oil sucker rod wood, very cool, unique cover material. I think they've done it before. I've seen some other photos of knives. Never handled one, but I like it. I like it. It's different. The history behind there is cool. The fact that they could find this wood just sitting out exposed to the elements for 100 years. This could be, depending on when this was used in that oil rush, I mean, this could be 130, 40-year-old wood on this pocket knife. That's just awesome. Let's see, the Beagles are, there's a lot of cover materials. Derek, who Knife Ship Free this one came from, the Beagle, they did a yellow camel bone. Those look very nice. Mike Latham at Collector Knives is doing a natural micarta as well. And then Great Eastern themselves are doing a oh man, I'll put all of the different covers for sure down in the details below, but off the top of my head, there is, I feel like probably a red linen. There's a Jig Bone, of course, both Northfield and Tidiute versions. The Northfield, this is Tidiute. The Northfield does do a long pull on theirs. Probably they do a mirror polish because that's typically what they do. I like the satin on the blades. Anyway, I'll put all those details about the different models that are available below. You might still be able to find these today. I think this is a cover material where less of them were made than the others. So if you're interested, I would not hesitate to try to find one. But you definitely will be able to find a Beagle in some cover material. They did a really cool what they call Runaway Beagle acrylic, really wild looking acrylic. But yeah, you should check them out. So anyway, that's the Great Eastern Cutlery 18 frame, and today we looked at the Beagle. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like the video, please do a like, subscribe, share it, and keep watching. We'll be looking at another video. Next video, hopefully by early next week, is going to be a really exciting video. I'm going to actually have one of our viewers sending in a knife. I'm hoping it gets here today to do a review on. So stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching.